Hey guys, this is Austin, and today I'm here with Gaming PC Myths Part 3. So amazingly enough, sometimes people are wrong about stuff on the internet. So today I'm going to go over some of the most popular myths and rumors about gaming PCs. The first myth is that you have to have an expensive CPU for gaming. Now I can't tell you how many times people have sent me builds where they're using something like a Core i7 and a GTX 650. So a good general rule of thumb is that you should be spending more on your graphics card as opposed to the CPU. Now, while pretty much all of your parts when gaming are used, for example, if you have just a little bit of RAM, that's going to hurt you. But as a general rule of thumb, the graphics card is the most important part. And as long as you've got a fairly balanced system, spending more on the graphics card will absolutely help you out quite a bit. Another myth is that PC gaming is only for desktops. Now, it's easy to get caught up in a spec war. So this CPU is 10% faster than that CPU, this graphics card can run Battlefield 4 on Ultra, and all that stuff is important and it's all nice to know. However, at the end of the day, we're all gamers. We all just want to sit down and play our games. Sure, a gaming laptop is pretty much always going to be more expensive than a desktop. However, for a lot of people, that's going to be worth it. So the most important thing to look for when you're buying a gaming laptop is to make sure that it does have a dedicated GPU. As long as you got a decent GPU under the hood, for the most part you're going to be fine to play basically any game you want. Another one is that consoles are better than gaming PCs. So this is one I hear all the time. So a gaming PC definitely does have some advantages. For one, you're pretty much always going to have the best looking experience across any platform. So even though the new Xbox One and PlayStation 4 are coming out soon, there are games that you can buy today on a gaming PC that are going to look better than what you're going to find on even the next generation of consoles. You also do have Steam, which is a fantastic way to get games, and it's a PC, so obviously in addition to doing the gaming stuff, you can do pretty much anything else you want on it. On the other hand, there are also reasons why you might want to use a console. So it's pretty much always going to be a cheaper way to get into the game, so you can go out and buy an Xbox for a couple $100 and throw it underneath your TV and forget about it. There are lots and lots of people on both Xbox Live and PSN, so if a lot of your friends are using PlayStations, it might make sense for you to get one as well. And there are also tons and tons of great exclusive games for the Wii, for the Xbox, for the PlayStation. So a lot of times you might want to go buy a Wii just so you can go play Super Smash Bros. And Zelda and Mario. So there are lots of pros and cons for both consoles as well as gaming PCs. But at the end of the day, it's pretty much whatever works best for you. Another common myth is that you need 6 gigs of RAM in your graphics card. No. Just no. So a lot of people get confused as far as how much memory they actually need in a graphics card, and is it worth it to pay for the RAM upgrade. So right now, what you really should be looking for is a graphics card with 2 gigs of RAM. So that's going to give you enough memory to handle pretty much any game out right now, as well as future games for a little while. However, if you do want to step it up a little bit, especially if you're buying a more expensive card, then 3 gigs of RAM can be a good option, especially if you're going to be playing on higher resolution monitors like 1440p, plan on doing Crossfire SLI, or you plan on just gaming on lots of monitors, very high resolutions, all that kind of stuff. Another common myth is that overclocking your computer will destroy it. So a lot of people are very anxious and very scared to actually do any kind of overclocking for fear that they're going to damage their computer. And while yes, it is true that you can do damage to your computer by overclocking, for the most part that's kind of difficult, and as long as you're kind of reasonable about it and you don't just start grabbing dials and cranking them up to 11, you really ought to be okay. So the general idea of overclocking is to simply make your computer run faster. So the typical things that you're going to overclock are going to be your CPU as well as your graphics card. So graphics cards in particular are very easy to overclock, and the best way to overclock any of your parts in your computer is just to simply look up a guide. So there are tons and tons of fantastic tutorials around the internet that will show you exactly how to overclock this particular graphics card, this particular CPU with this motherboard, etc, etc. Pretty much there's a guide for about everything. So if you want to get a little bit more performance out of your PC, as long as you have good cooling and a decent power supply, overclocking is a great answer. So what are some of the gaming PC myths that you guys have heard? Definitely be sure to let me know in the comments below, and I might just use one of them in the next video. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, definitely be sure to subscribe to the channel so you're always kept up to date with the latest and greatest. Anyway guys, I will catch you next time.